Hi guys, it's me, Teresa Perrin. I didn't want to leave you hanging without making a video regarding this reverse stock split news. So guys, I have spent the last 2 hours reading over filings and paperwork and trying to grasp what is happening because some things aren't adding up and I am quite confused. Normally, when a company is going to do a reverse stock split, and I am going to use ARMED as an example, and I'm not going to be able to get into full detail tonight because there's a lot, but I want you to take a look at ARMED. Go on the NASDAQ, and they're doing a reverse split effective Monday as well. Please go on that site and look at the filings. Yes, Business Newswire also made the announcement a couple days ago for them, so that checks out. But it's quite different the way the two reads. Now, is that because the company submits a public notification or a written notification to Newswire and they, create an article and put it out there? I don't know the answer to that. I never paid close enough attention to the news regarding reverse splits as far as like who announces it, blah, 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 other than the fact to check the NASDAQ, make sure there's a filing, and look at the company's website like we did last night. And of course, there was no filing with a specific date. They do have the filing back in May or June. I forget the exact date off the top of my head. But after that shareholders meeting, saying that the company would still be monitoring it. But actually, let me pull that up and show you guys. Okay, guys, if you want to see this for yourself, because I want to teach you how to do this on your own, you go to the NASDAQ website and you search SEC filings. Now, this is a Form 8K that was filed on May 25th, 2022. And this is the notice of delisting or failure to satisfy a continued listing rule or standard transfer of listing. On May 20th, 2022, AVCT received a letter from the listing qualification staff of the NASDAQ indicating that based on the closing price of the company's common stock for the last 30 consecutive business days, the company is not currently in compliance with the requirement to maintain a minimum bid price of $1 per share for continued listing on the NASDAQ capital market as set forth in the NASDAQ listing rule. If we go to the next page, we can see that no later than September 30th, the reverse stock split 1 to 15, the final voting for each proposal submitted to a vote are set forth below. And it gives you the dates. Oh, you know what? Let me go back to this for 1 second. The notice has no immediate effect on the continued listing status of the company. Hang on 1 second. I'm missing that last line. Okay, guys, because I just wanted to give you the highlights. I cut off a part, but I just want to read this one piece to you. It says, at the special meeting of stockholders of the company held May 24, 2022, the company stockholders approved proposal to 1. Approve for the purpose of complying with the NASDAQ listing rules. The issuance of shares of common stock of the company upon conversion of the shares of Series B convertible preferred stock or exercise of the warrants issued pursuant to the terms of a securities purchase agreement dated as of February 28, 2022 in an amount equal to 20% or more of the company's common stock outstanding. NASDAQ proposal number 1. 2. To approve for the purpose of complying with the NASDAQ listing rule, the issuance of shares of common stock upon conversion of the senior secured convertible notes of the company issued pursuant to the terms of the securities purchase agreement dated April 14, 2022 in the amount or equal to 20% or more of the company's common stock outstanding. NASDAQ proposal 2. Number 3, approve the First Amendment to the AVCT Inc. 2020 Equity Incentive Plan. Number 4, approved an amendment to the company's amended and restated certificate of incorporation to effect a reclassification and conversion of each outstanding share of common stock into 1/5 of a share of common stock, 1-for-5 reverse stock split, and authorize the company's board of directors to implement or abandon this amendment no later than September 30th, 2022. The reverse stock split proposal of 1-to-5. Number 5, approve an amendment to the company's amended and restated certificate of incorporation to effect a reclassification and conversion of each outstanding share of common stock into 1/10 of a share of common stock, a 1-for-10 reverse stock split, and authorize the board to implement or abandon this amendment no later than September 30th. The reverse stock split proposal, 1-for-10. Number 6, approve an amendment to the company's amended and restated certificate of incorporation to effect a reclassification and conversion of each outstanding share of common stock into 1/15 of a share of common stock, a 1-for-15 reverse stock split, and authorize the board to implement or abandon this amendment no later than September 30th, 2022. The reverse stock proposal. The final voting results for each proposal submitted are set forth below, and that's what this chart shows you here. So guys, as you can see, they were all approved. Now, I wanted to read that to you because the first half of that discussed the NASDAQ Proposal 1 and NASDAQ Proposal 2, and they did just that by getting rid of the warrants with Hudson Bay, right? Those warrants made it so that they could become NASDAQ compliant. And if you are on that long 4-hour space call that I had last night, then you are well aware that I disclosed this. And I said to you that perhaps they did that because they needed that to regain NASDAQ compliance to file a reverse split. Now, guys, I also want to address while we're at this point in topic that if you are not on that whole 4-hour call, you have no business sending me nasty DMs or writing on my page nasty crap about you losing money. We all lost money. Anyone in the market lately has lost money. So cut the freaking crap and accept responsibility for your own actions. I don't tell anyone to buy anything. I don't tell anyone to sell anything. And if you ask me price targets or anything else, I always tell you I don't give price targets because I'm not a financial advisor. I am here to talk to you about stocks that I like and I invest in. And hopefully some of you also like those stocks. And that's why you're watching these videos. Guys, you know what? I do not buy your shares for you. I do not advise you to buy anything. I do not advise you to sell anything or hold anything. You need to take your own accountability. And if you don't do that, then you need to look yourself in the mirror because you shouldn't be trading. So grow up, those of you being nasty. Seriously, grow up. And you know what? This play is far from done. And if you're a little bit patient and don't need to be handheld or babysat, I think that you're going to find out you're going to make a lot of money in this play. So patience is key. As Warren Buffett said, the stock market is the transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. I'm sorry, guys, but if you don't have patience for a play like this, you don't belong in it. It can go up, down, sideways. I don't really give a crap. If it goes down, awesome. Guess what I did today? I bought more. Why? Because the number 2 cloud technology platform is trading right now at 18 cents a share. Guys, seriously, 18 cents a share. You know, if back in the day when Amazon was trading at $2 or $3 a share and you bought it, look where you'd be right now. Seriously, multiple stock splits later, your share would be worth thousands of dollars. But some of you don't have the patience to be in the market, and it's a problem. And guys, I get it. It's frustrating day after day to see companies that you believe in. I mean, hopefully you guys believe in them and that's why you're investing in them and not just like watching YouTube videos picking random stocks out of the sky. Because if you're doing that, then you need more help than I can give you. Yes, they're great for getting recommendations. They're awesome for that. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos myself. That's what inspired me to do this. But guys, they're to get ideas. You need to do the work or you're not going to have the belief. There are many people in that call, awesome people, that were collaborating together about what's happening. That's what a community is, okay? We are working together to try to find the answers of what's going on here because there's a lot of things that don't add up. And I'm sorry to lecture you, but it frustrates me when I tell you that, you know, I am busy. I have my father here visiting. It's now midnight, and I'm sitting here making a video to you guys because I feel bad I couldn't respond to comments today. And I shouldn't have to feel that guilt, but I'm a good person, and I don't appreciate your nastiness, some of you. Most of you are awesome, and I appreciate that. You know, guys, you would think that like a reverse stock split, somebody thought that the thing was getting delisted by the way that they act. I just don't understand it. It's very frustrating. Enough of my rant, but seriously, guys, if you're one of those people that I'm talking about, you need to take a good look in the mirror. First of all, you need to man up or woman up or whatever you are up and face the facts that only you hit that buy button. Only you hit that sell button. So if you're not happy with your decisions, look in the mirror and ask yourself what it is you're doing wrong. And please don't buy another stock or sell another stock till you fix it. Or maybe sell everything and take some time away from the market because you need more help than anyone can ever give you. You need to hold yourself accountable. You cannot go around blaming other people in your life for your decisions. And you seriously need to learn how to do this research for yourself. I'm happy to show you guys. I try to teach you the best I can. Like I just told you how to pull these up. You know what? Most of you are awesome. I'm sorry for this rant. You don't all deserve this. But I'm sure you're seeing it all over Twitter with not just me, but other people. Because some people just don't want to be adults. Now, moving on back to this. Clearly in this filing, yes, it states the actions. But I'm going to show you the difference using RMED in a minute. I am going to get into that tonight because I'm not going to sleep out knowing I didn't tell you this. Now, going to this filing, and guys, again, you can pull this up on the NASDAQ under SEC filings. And yes, you're going to spend hours doing the work to research and look through every little thing. And you're going to spend this kind of time. If you're invested in something and you actually care, you need to do this work. It is not other people's job to do this for you. Again, I'm happy to help. But, you know, guys, I have limitations too, and some days it's frustrating more than others. Now, other events. I want to go down to, actually, not here. I think I pulled it up on a separate page. Yes, I highlighted it. On May 20th, 2022, we received notice from the listing qualification staff of the NASDAQ indicating that based upon the closing bid price of our common stock for the prior 30 consecutive business days, we were not in compliance with the requirement to maintain a minimum bid price of $1 per share for continued listing on NASDAQ, as set forth in the NASDAQ listing rule. We will have 180 days from May 20th, 2022 or through November 16th, 2022 to regain compliance. If we do not regain compliance during the compliance period ending on November 16th, 2022, the NASDAQ may grant us a second 180 calendar day period to regain compliance. Provided we meet the continued listing requirement for market value of publicly held shares and all other initial listing standards for the NASDAQ capital market, other than the minimum closing bid price requirement, and notify NASDAQ of our intent to cure the deficiency. If we do not regain compliance within the allotted compliance period, including any extensions the stock may be granted by the NASDAQ, we may be subject to delisting. If NASDAQ determines to delist our stock, we will have the right to appeal to a NASDAQ panel. Guys, Again, I said this in the call last night, that if they do not, let's say they get an offer for, or they have an offer for a buyout, right? And like I stated, they're get a delay for whatever reason, guys, because guess what? Buyouts take time. So they get the buyout, they announce it, great. They think they're closing, it's all cash, whatever. Something delays it. They get sued, whatever the case may be. And they can't close by November 16th. Well, guess what, guys? Their stocks go into OTC land because they didn't file an extension or they didn't do what they need to do. Do you think that they want to deal with that? Absolutely not. That, I believe, is reason number one they are doing this. Real quick, I want to just show you Armed. Now, here's the difference in these two listings. Item 3.03, material modification to right of security holders. To the extent required by item 3-03 on Form 8K, the information regarding the reverse stock split as defined below contains in item 5-03 and 8-01 of this current report on Form 8K are incorporated herein by reference. Now, look at the difference. As set forth in more details below, on September 20th, 2022, RA Medical Systems, the company, held a special meeting of stockholders. As described in item 8.01 of the current report on Form 8K, on September 20th, the Board of Directors, the board, announced that the reverse stock split would be effective at a ratio of 1:50 with an effective time of 4:01 p.m. Eastern Time on September 30th, 2022. On or about September 20th, 2022, the company filed a certificate of amendment to the Certificate of Incorporation with the Secretary of State of the Department of Delaware, and the reverse stock split will be effective as of 4:01 p.m. Eastern Time, September 30th, 2022. The common stock is expected to begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange on a post-split basis October 3rd, 2022. Now, guys, here is why I did not believe this was happening. Number one, look at the difference here. They give you a clear, definitive answer on what the stock will be. RA Med, you can go back and look, voted, as did AVCT, on more than one option for a stock split. They had a smaller number in there as well. And forgive me, but I do not recall off the top of my head exactly what that number was. Actually, was this it? I don't know if this is Armed's because I had pulled another one with iBio for you. 1:50. I think that's ARA. Are they doing the one? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out if that's Armed's or if that's, yeah, 1:50. That could very well be. Okay, so it shows the voting as well. Okay, the 1:50. And they also voted for a one for approval in accordance, 1:20, a 1:20 and a 1:50, guys. That's what they got voted, and they chose the 1:50. Okay, so as you can see, there's that difference. Number one, it showed you the shares, but it was specific. It gives you a date that it's going to take effect. ABC did not do that. Okay. Number two, it said on or before September 30th, right? By September 30th, but didn't say specifically the date. So, okay, maybe on or before, maybe we can let that one go. But number two, and there's three parts here. Number two, it gave you a specific vote. I mean, not vote, but share split. conversion, 1 for 50. And again, they voted on more than one. So there were two options, right? The 1 for 20 or 1 for 50. AVCT voted on 3. They never defined a clear reverse split, what that number would be. Okay, so that's reason number 2. I had doubts about that filing, that AK was specific, and felt there needed to be another. And I still feel that there did. Number 3, they did not state that they filed the certificate of amendment with the Secretary of State of the state of Delaware. Nowhere did AVCT ever say they did that. That needs to be done prior to the stock split. So I'm confused. Why didn't they file a certificate of amendment? I believe they're a Delaware-based incorporation, but they would need to do this for whatever state they're incorporated in. So why is it they didn't file that? Or we didn't receive notice that they filed that? And guys, I searched for a while trying to see if I could look into that on the state of Delaware, and I couldn't find a way to do that. If anybody knows how, please let me know, because I would like to learn how to do that going forward. But I do not see a way to do that. But they stated this in their filing, as has every other reverse split. Something doesn't feel right still. It really just doesn't, because I feel like pieces are missing. I get why they need to do that, guys, but these filings are very different. Their 8K was more like an announcement of what were the results of their votes, which they have to do. But it didn't feel like it was an announcement saying they were doing a reverse split. They didn't say what the split was. They didn't say the definitive date of when it was going to take effect. And they did not say that they filed a certificate of amendment. So I don't understand. I really don't understand. iBio is another one that has it coming up. And that actually might have been the voting for iBio, but I assure you that RMED had something very similar with 2 votes, as you saw. So, nope, that was correct. That was RMED's. This is our bios. So let me adjust this so you can see it. Oh, and number 4, they didn't give us a new CUSIP number in their filing. Here's RMED's. On September 22nd, I'm sorry, I keep calling it RMED because of the other one. This is iBios. I apologize. Let me go back to page number 1 so you can see. iBio, again, a Delaware state. Ooh, I should be able to see real quick. Let me see if AVCT. SEC report date. Well, that's RMED's. Oh, ours is down here. I don't know if I took the cover page. I'm just trying to see if it says American Virtual Cloud Technology, SEC, Washington, D.C., 8K. Yeah, I don't see anywhere here if it says Delaware. It says their address is in Georgia, but I don't see if it says like, see here where it says state or jurisdiction of a corporation is Delaware. I didn't see that on the filing for AVCT. It doesn't say it, interestingly enough. All right. Anyways, going back to what RMED say. I think it's interesting how, iBio says, I think it's interesting how different companies have different type forms and they all don't seem to match completely. Now, the reverse split. This is iBios. I'm just trying to show you some comparisons to why I feel that AVCT is lacking what they need to for shareholder notification. Again, this is an SEC filing for iBio. On September 22nd, 2022, the board approved the reverse split at a ratio of 1 share of common stock for every 25 shares of common stock issued and outstanding. The company anticipates the reverse stock split will be effective on Friday, October 7th upon the filing of a certificate of amendment to the company's certificate of incorporation as amended with the Secretary of State of the State of Delaware. On Monday, October 10, 2022, the common stock will begin trading on a post-reverse split basis on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol name iBio, but with a new CUSIP number of, and they give the new CUSIP number, split adjustment treatment of fractional shares. As a result of the reverse split, for every 25 pre-split shares of common stock outstanding, you will automatically combine into one new share of common stock without any action on the part of the holders, and the number of outstanding shares will be reduced from 225,164,563 to 9,006,583 shares, subject to rounding of fractional shares, which will be paid in cash. Okay, guys, our fractional shares will also be paid in cash, I'm pretty certain, although we don't have the filing even telling us that, do we? Trading symbol, new CUSIP. You can see they gave them a new CUSIP number. We don't have a filing showing us a new CUSIP number, do we? So I want you to see where my best advice was given. Not even advice, where my assessment of the situation was given, guys. It's based on the facts that don't line up here. I'm sorry, they don't line up. It is very strange to me that we do not have an updated SEC filing stating that they, did get a new CUSIP number, that the certificate of amendment was filed with the state of Delaware, stating when the actual date of the reverse split is, and what value it is. We still have nothing showing us that it's 1 for 15 other than what's posted on their website. Who's to say it's not another BBIG thing where their website gets hacked and the joke's on us come Monday? I mean, I hope to God that's not the case. I really can't take any more of that. But guys, I find this all very strange. I gave you 2 other examples. Please, please go on the NASDAQ's website, search up iBio, I-B-I-O, and RMED, R-M-E-D, please, and look and see for yourself, because you need to be able to make educated analysis. And tell me as an attorney, not that I'm not an attorney, and I don't think you guys, most of you probably are not attorneys either. Some of you may be. Most of you probably are not. But as, let's say, as your own private investigator, perhaps that's a better example. Tell me after really looking this over what your thoughts are. Because it doesn't seem to all add up to me. Furthermore, let's see what else I have for you tonight. Oh, yeah. Guys, I'm going to get into that tomorrow in another video because it's late and I just can't deal right now. So, just for the record, so we have this on video, AVCT closed at 0.1873 at 8 p.m., okay? So, let's see what happens on Monday. And obviously, at this point, I think we have to say that it's highly likely it's happening, but things don't add up still. So I still have some doubt. I don't know. I really don't know. And I know you guys had, whatever, long space calls today. Again, I apologize, but I told you all in advance that I was not available today, and I will not be available tomorrow either. I have to spend time with my dad, and I'm happy to do it. And he comes before any of this ever will. So, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Try not to stress. We can talk about this more, but a reverse stock split, it really doesn't mean anything. If anything, guys, there's less shares. Whatever the buyout is, this is assuming, of course, that there is a buyout, okay? Because we still have nothing showing us that. We know that that's their intent. But if they are working on a buyout, whatever the price is, it's going to be set no matter how many shares there are. And it's psychological to you guys. I get it that you're seeing a smaller number of shares, but it still equals the same thing. It doesn't change anything for the buyout price because you would have gotten the same amount prior and after. And hopefully some of you were able to grab some more shares cheap if that's what you chose to do. That's what I chose to do. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great night.